Alright, today I'm changing 3 of the injectors. The last video I did was the number 7 one. I've already done the entire other side. I just haven't had time to do videos for them. But so far, I've been going at this since about 7:30 this morning. And about an hour in-ish. So, the FICM's out. The plate for the FICM. The intercooler boot and up pipe for the intake, the air box, the wheel well, it's all out, as you can see in here. The FICM, pretty easy to get out. You gotta watch out for the rubber grommets so you don't fall and lose them. Around both sides of it, and it's got a little plastic piece in between. It's easy to get. The plate that sits there, I have all the bolts sitting right now. That also ties into the oil dipstick, which you can see right there. So you got to get that nut off. It's 12mm, and slowly working my way through. Gonna have to take off the EGR and the intake on top there. So that's all gonna come off. When I took the FICM off, I just did this top nut here first, took that off, and then I disconnected that there and pulled it through instead of trying to take that bottom off right there. Otherwise it's going to be more pain than it's worth. So that's the way I did it, and still got to take the fuel filter housing off in the back so I can get that number 5 injector. And I'm going to clean all this crap out. You can see the EGR has been leaking down on it. Got to get rid of that soon. Fix all this. It's pretty messed up. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, quick update where we're at. I was able to get the fuel return lines, or the fuel lines from the common rail off without removing the EGR, which is nice. There's just enough room back there to get 17mm on there and take those off. So that one's out. That one's a little bit tight to get out, but easy enough. Those two came off fine. The fuel return lines, try not to break those. They sell them online. You can get aftermarket one that you like piece together for fairly cheap, but if you actually go to the store and buy it, it's a specialty ordered part, and it's going to take a couple days to get in, and it's about $90 just for this return line here that goes on the top of the injector, and they have a little rubber O gasket on them. But if you're not careful when you take those off, you'll actually break the tip off in the injector, and then when you're putting them back in, same thing. I had that happen on the other side, which was a pain because I was not expecting to have to wait 2 days to get the part. These clips, those come off. A little bit of pain in the butt to get those off. If you lose one down there, as I had lost 2 somewhere, the new injectors will come with them, so that's not a big problem. And other than that, I just got to release the tie downs down here, take that bolt, and then one for each injector, and then pry the injector up and get that out. And of course, make sure that you try to get as much out of there, all that crap, as possible without it going down into the motor, which is not good. And then when you pull these off, like this one, it's all super dirty to clean it. But if you look, you can't really see it. There's a little bit of junk in there. Make sure you get that out before you put that back in. Otherwise, it's going to be bad for your injector. You're going to be pulling it back out and doing this all again. I'm doing all 3 at the same time just because, simplicity's sake, I don't want to do this over and over again. So I'm going to knock them all out now and get it done and over with. Let's see here. Anything you need to know? Not really. Everything's pretty simple, explanatory. As long as you have a set of tools. And you might gonna need a swivel. Swivel helps a little bit. But yeah. Alrighty. I'm gonna take these out now. Hey, I pulled out the first injector here. Figured I'd show you a little bit. Yeah, the O-ring on top, completely broken. You can kind of see an imprint up there. And it doesn't want to focus. But the O-ring completely broken. Injector's super dirty. Copper O-ring came out fine. There was a lot of junk around that one. Let's see down there. Let's grab a flashlight. This is the other project I got going on right now. Model 92. That motor was blown up by my stepbrother, so I got a second motor here. This one's all put back together, ready to go in. But yeah, that's another story. The other motor's actually sitting back here. Completely, well, not completely junk, but it's fixable. I don't know if I want to fix it. Alrighty. Let's see if we can't get. So there is some junk that fell down there. I have to try to get that out. There's actually a lot of junk that's in there, which is not good. So it looks like there's some buildup. Not quite sure what that's all about. But we'll get that all out. The other ones popped up pretty easy. Well, easy enough. Couldn't find my flat bars. I don't know where they went for the life of me. But got them out with my old Gerber. Just gotta be careful. Not cut wires while you're in there. But that's where I'm at. Alright, quick update. All three are out. That's in order how I took them out. So you got number 1, 3, and 5. Number 1 I know was going bad when I had it scanned, and they did a balance rate test on it, and I could also hear that one knocking. But just hearing it alone, you won't be able to tell which one is actually going out. Number 3 is pretty oily. Well, that's probably mostly from the fuel leaking on it, and then eating away a little bit of the oil there. And number 5 doesn't look so bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace that anyway. The reason I'm taking these out beforehand is O'Reilly's is nice enough to order the injectors for you and have them in the store so you don't have to pay for them. Whereas like AutoZone, they want you to pay up front when you get them, and then you have to pay the core charge on top of it. So this way I'm just eliminating the core charge, and I'll just do a swap once I get there and pay for the injectors. Saves me time, saves me 600 bucks. Well, I'd get it back anyway, but now I don't have to wait for it, so that's where we're at. Go get the new ones. Hey, we're back. We're about to put in the new 3 injectors that I got. I did clean out the holes. Quite simple. Not as good as I'd like to get them, but it's about as good as it's going to get. Turned on my hillbilly thinking cap. And got a vacuum cleaner, straw, some duct tape. And just went down in there and sucked everything out that I could. see it. Looks pretty clean. As clean as they get, really. Without stuffing more stuff down in there, which you want to avoid, because anything stuck in there is going to get pulled into the chamber and burned and crushed, and yeah. Yep, that happened. O'Reilly's made a liar out of me. These 3 injectors that I just picked up did not come with the fuel return line clips, which should be on top. But for whatever reason, they decided, no, we're not going to send them, and I didn't get them. But I ended up finding the other 2 down on the cross member for the 4x4, so that's good. But we got them in there. About $800 for 3 of them. Would have been $1,400 if I got the core, but I went ahead and returned those and swapped them, so I didn't have to pay a core. I'm going to go ahead and slip these back in now. Oh, forgot to mention, I know my other video I used a little bit of blue gasket sealer to keep, what is that? There it is. That copper crush washer on there. Well, you can also use Vaseline. You just take a little bit, rub it on your finger, rub it around the base of that copper washer, stick it back on, and it'll stick to the tip of that so it won't fall off while you're putting that in. Because if that falls off, then you're going to have a pain trying to get that back out, unless you got a set of picks like me, but I'm not worried about it. So, alrighty, just thought I'd tell you.